A China Coast Guard ship conducting a supposed resupply cruise to its outposts in the Spratly Islands also passed near 5 features of the West Philippine Sea. According to West Philippine Sea Monitor Ray Powell, the 8,000-ton Sansha 2 Hao first passed off Pag-asa Island on Sunday morning, June 30. It was accompanied by the Sansha Fa 301, a public affairs vessel. Powell adds that the two ships also traversed the waters near Patag Island, Lawak Island, Escoda Shoal, and Ayungin Shoal. As of Monday, July 1, the two ships were within 60 nautical miles of Malaysia's coastline. According to Powell, China's mission is meant to deliver supplies to Beijing's Spratly Island bases and to mark the extent of its maritime claims. Last week, the China Coast Guard's biggest vessel, dubbed the Monster Ship, also conducted what Powell called an intrusive patrol in similar features. Such actions align with Beijing's assertion of sovereignty in almost the entire South China Sea, including most of the West Philippine Sea, even if such a claim has been effectively invalidated by the arbitral award issued in July 2016. The Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board in the National Capital Region has approved an increase of 35 pesos in the daily minimum wage for private sector workers. This brings the daily minimum wage of Metro Manila workers in the non-agriculture sector from 610 pesos to 645 pesos. Meanwhile, the daily minimum wage for workers in the agriculture sector, in service and retail establishments with 15 or less workers, and in manufacturing establishments regularly employing less than 10 workers will increase from 573 pesos to 608 pesos. The wage hike will take effect on July 17, 2024. Last year, the National Capital Region Wage Board raised the daily minimum wage by 40 pesos. Meanwhile, several labor groups slammed the wage hike, calling it insufficient and measly. Groups such as the National Wage Coalition have been urging Congress to pass the proposal seeking a 150 peso across-the-board wage increase nationwide for private sector workers. Senator Sonny Angara is open to being the next chief of the Department of Education. In an ambush interview on Monday, July 1, Angara was asked if he was willing to take the helm of DepEd after Vice President Sara Duterte quit the cabinet post. Angara says he is open to it but clarifies that he has not yet received any offers for the position.
Open naman po tayo kung sakaling pinagkatiwalaan. Wala pa pong halok na maging kalilin po tayo. Kaso siguro kailangan ni Pangulong bongbong ng oras tulad ng sinabi niya para makapagpigil ng nababagay na napupusuan niya para sa posisyon.
Senators have been expressing support for Angara to be the next Education Secretary, citing his extensive educational background. Vice President Duterte resigned as DepEd chief on June 19. She did not provide a definite reason for quitting and only explained that her action was not a sign of weakness as it was stirred by compassion for teachers and students. On June 29, President Bongbong Marcos admitted that it's challenging to pick the next DepEd head. He earlier said that he would name the new education head soon. Marcos also acknowledged as valid concerns various sectors' calls for him to name an educator, administrator, or historical professor as the next DepEd chief. However, he noted there is no shortlist for the next education secretary as he is looking at everyone qualified. Seating plans for President Bongbong Marcos's third State of the Nation address will be finalized soon by an interagency panel, according to House of Representatives Secretary General Reginald Velasco. In an ambush interview on Monday, July 1, Velasco was asked how the seating plan for the upcoming Sona would look like given that the political landscape has changed due to the Marcos-Duterte rift. According to Velasco, an interagency committee will decide on the seat plan. In past Sonas, First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte were usually seated together. In April, the First Lady admitted snubbing the Vice President after Duterte attended prayer rallies where her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, called President Marcos a drug addict. In June, Vice President Duterte resigned from her post as Education Secretary without citing a reason. The Vice President said her resignation was not carried by weakness but by true compassion for teachers and students. Duterte's resignation has been viewed as the strongest sign of strained ties between the country's top two leaders. Another abandoned vehicle reportedly related to the case of the missing Pampanga beauty pageant candidate and her Israeli boyfriend was found by authorities on Sunday night. Capas Police Chief Lieutenant Colonel Librado Maranang Jr. says operatives of the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group found the abandoned vehicle in Barangay Tibag, Tarlac City. Mutya ng Pilipinas Pampanga 2024 candidate Geneva Lopez and her boyfriend Yitzhak Cohen met a middleman in Tarlac to check a 20.5-hectare agricultural land that they intended to buy. Citing the middleman the couple met, police said they were last seen around 2 p.m. on June 21. The middleman has given a sworn statement to the police saying he parted ways with the pair after inspecting the property. Meanwhile, the couple's gray Nissan Terra SUV was found burning along the Capas San Jose Road in Cristo Rey Village at 2:36 a.m. on June 22. In an earlier radio interview, Maranang said the police were examining what seemed like a burned cell phone or tablet found inside the vehicle. He also said they were searching for witnesses to help them locate the two and appealed to anyone with information to cooperate with authorities.